Hello, it's Parsha's Bechukosai. In a few days, Shabbos Mevorchim. There is a fascinating story which I'd like to share with you about Parsha's Bechukosai. The famous commentary, the Orach Chaim HaKodesh of Chaim ben Attar, wrote a Perush, and in this week's Parsha, he wrote no less than 42 insights into the Psukim of Im Bechukosai Teilechu. And there's a beautiful story surrounding these 42 Perushim. One time, the Orach Chaim HaKodesh, for the reason why he had to go into Golus, self-imposed exile, was because he felt that he had disrespected a certain Talmud Chacham who came to his house to receive from food. Somebody shamed this Talmud Chacham, and Rabbi Chaim ben Attar, the Orach Chaim HaKodesh, did not stick up for him. So it was revealed to him that he has to go into Golus in order to forgive this, so to say, Aveira of his. Rabbi Chaim ben Attar, the Orach Chaim HaKodesh, did so, took his stick, took his tefillin, some bread, some water, and he was going in Golus. And he was going in Golus, going from town to town. Nobody knew who he was. And this was his, so to say, kapara. When it came to Erev Shabbos, Parshas Bechukosai, on Friday morning, so he paused for a few moments, and his mind was thinking about spiritual things, and all of a sudden, to his mind came 14 insights in the words of, in the pasuk of Im Bechukosai. Didn't have anything to write with, so he took his stick, and he carved out in the ground 14 insights in Im Bechukosai Teilechu. He walked a little further, and again, his mind was on spiritual things, and he was thinking, and another 14 insights came to him in Parshas Bechukosai. Again, he had no utensil to write with, took his stick, carved it into the ground, engraved it in the ground. He went further, and this happened the third time. Each time he had 14 insights in Bechukosai, he engraved it in the ground, and then he went further, some total of 42 insights. And he came to this particular town for Shabbos. He came into the shul. Nobody knew who he was. And the shamash of the shul saw a person that needed a place to eat. So he invited him, and he accepted the invitation. He ate with him. And then the shamash says, we have a custom that after the Suda we go to shul, and the Rav darshans on Friday night. He darshans, and it's supposed to be very interesting. Why don't you come and join us? So he comes, and he joins them. And the Rav, his mind is in Alumni, thinking deep in Dveikus. All of a sudden, the Rav wakes up from his Dveikus, and he says 14 insights into Bechukosai. And then after he finishes the 14 insights, he says, it was revealed to me that these 14 insights were brought into this world from the Tzaddik Chaim ben Attar. Now, the Orach Chaim HaKodesh himself was sitting there, but since he's in self-imposed Golus, so he screams out, Chaim ben Attar, as if to say, who is this Chaim ben Attar? Everybody turns towards the guest, and they say, what kind of chutzpah is this? Disrespect. But the shamash stuck up for his guest, and he says, maybe he's tired, maybe he's knocked out, he's a poor man, maybe from Teirach Haderach, he just lost himself. Please forgive him. And the Rav said, okay. The same thing repeated itself by the Suda. After the Suda in the afternoon, he went to the Rav's house. Again, the Rav darshaned another 14 insights and announced that this was revealed brought into the world by Reb Chaim ben Attar. And again, the same thing. Chaim ben Attar says, Chaim ben Attar, who is he? And again, they wanted to put him into excommunication. The shamash, who was his host, stuck up for him, and again it repeated itself by Shalosh Shudas. At that time, it was their patience. They lost their patience already with him, and they decided that they're going to deal with him very severely. And temporarily, they put him into a room. They locked him up, and they were going to decide what kind of punishment they are going to give to this unruly guest for speaking the way he spoke. And meanwhile, he's sitting in this room locked up. Shabbos is not over yet. And all of a sudden, there's a storm brewing outside, strong winds, heavy rain, very unusual weather system hit the town. And the Rav understood that this is no regular storm. There's something behind this. What is going on? So the Rav took a nap, fell asleep, and in his dream, they revealed to him that the reason for this storm is because you put in jail the holy tzaddik, Reb Chaim ben Attar. The Rav wakes up, runs right away, goes to the room where Reb Chaim ben Attar is locked up, and he says, "Are you Chaim ben Attar?" And he says, "Yes, I am." What is going on? And he explained to him that he was in self-imposed golus. This was part of his kapara. Anyway, now the reason for the storm was because normally on Shabbos Gehenna is closed, and when Gehenna is closed, the Rishon don't go back. But because of what they did to Reb Chaim ben Attar, so they wanted to open up the gates of Gehenna, and the storm in heaven brought a storm down here. The neshama said, "It's still Shabbos. We don't want to go in Gehenna." So, to make a long story short, what happened was they released Reb Chaim ben Attar, and from Shemayim they revealed to Reb Chaim ben Attar that his time of self-imposed golus is over, and they released him. So this is the story behind the 42 Perushim in Parshas Bechukosai this week. The story of Reb Chaim ben Attar with these 42 insights. So, in the schus of Reb Chaim ben Attar, maybe we should spend a few minutes, look in this week's Parsha, learn some of the insights of Reb Chaim ben Attar, and at Shabbos Mevorchim Sivan, right before Matan Torah, we should be Mekabel the Torah B'simcha Uvepnimius.